I got this badass phone. Let's go. Let's view my dashboard.
What are you doing?
What I did, remember I showed you like how I stream at my house?
Mm-hmm.
I could do that right here on my phone.
Yeah. I would say that's up to you. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 3, Menace and the Man. What's going on? Dennis Bermudez, Stan the Man here.
Yeah.
How are you today, Dennis?
I'm all right. Right now, I'm just setting up the stream on Twitch. So if you guys want to watch live, coming forward, we're going to have them live on Twitch.
I'm trying to engage with your Twitch following a little bit.
Yeah, at Menace Bermudez.
You know about Twitch, Joe?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
People watch Dennis sit and play video games.
If there's a market.
I'm not very good.
Would you say you're not good? You seem like you weren't bad when we played that one night.
You ain't lying. Yeah.
We know who's got some work to do is this guy. I got some work to do.
Yeah, you're not as good as me. Well, the thing is, you said I was in kind of a mad mood today, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was playing before you picked me up.
Is that real? Oh, you left? Tell me you left on a negative. You didn't? Oh, that's what it is.
Like, I was playing Fortnite and was getting smashed so bad. I'm like, dude, let's play Call of Duty. And then it continued. And I was like, maybe it's just not, maybe.
You were just too aggressive, or it was a time slot where the kids didn't have school today? So you were against the Heat today. You were against the kids that really know how to play.
Fuck.
That's what you fucked up.
I hate it.
You just got to go back on when you get home if you can. Try to get that positive KD.
I think I gotta just put today down as an L.
Today?
Without bad days, there are no good days.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, even that was Dennis when we played. He wouldn't stop. He was like, I'm just going to have to play on until I get a positive kill-death ratio. Once I get one positive kill-death ratio, I'm done.
Yeah.
It came. He got it.
Yeah. That's what I do, dude. What the fuck?
Talking about playing Call of Duty, Fortnite. I'm trash right now just because I haven't played in so long. I used to play Call of Duty 3. I haven't played the new one. Like all these other kids are a couple weeks ahead of me, a couple months ahead of me. So that was my first time. I played like shit. So now Dennis thinks I suck at the game.
Well, I mean.
I do suck at the game, but I got to get used to it. I was nasty out of the last Call of Duty, so I think I'll pick up this one pretty quick. I'm not bad at Fortnite.
The thing is, I don't know the maps yet.
Some of them are similar. Some of them are the same.
The maps I remember, I'm all right there. Or if I sucked at that map last time, I still suck at that same map.
The other ones you got to take a couple weeks and get used to. You enjoy yourself at the UFC this weekend?
Remember what we talked about last time?
Oh yeah.
It happened. I drank too much.
Who was buying? Did you pay money? Were you buying your drinks? Who was buying your drinks?
No. I was in a suite, and I went from one suite, and then my other buddy had another suite, so I was in that. First, I was in the Tao suite, having a few cervezas, and then I ended up in the ESPN suite, where the cervezas were free.
Oh, they had them all lined up for you?
Yeah, and I was just knocking them down. That's how I do things.
Making yourself at home. ESPN's about to be your new home.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah. So, and I think you'd probably be the type of guy, because, when you talk to the matchmakers or anyone from the UFC, that's how they know you, as that guy. You're an action-packed fight, so they'll probably put you on, if not, I know we were talking about earlier about January, maybe not January, maybe February, March, one of those ESPN cards, if you're ready to get into it.
So...
Yeah, ESPN starts in January. That January at the Barclays Center is going to be the first ESPN.
Fights are going to be on the channel ESPN. I thought you were saying it's our new home, like...
ESPN Plus and ESPN.
Oh.
So ESPN is now they developed an app where they're going to have exclusive UFC fights starting January. With that, I'm pretty sure that January Barclays card, which should be fire.
Dang.
Very excited. I love when they come to New York and you get to fucking have a night out and go. Get banged up a little bit.
The thing is I hate being, like, pretty cold and pretty drunk.
Oh, yeah. I hate being cold. It wasn't that bad the other night, though. It wasn't that bad.
By the end of the night, you feel yourself getting sick. It's like,
It wasn't that bad the other night.
Agreed. But...
I had a good night in the city. I enjoyed myself.
I would much rather be, like, sweating and drunk versus...
No, sweating in the cold?
Nah.
You're saying hot weather. You're saying, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, tropical weather. Yeah, I understand that.
I think they go down a little easier. too.
Oh, absolutely. That's what Coronas are made for. You can't drink that shit in the
hey,
cold.
you ain't lying.
You can't drink that shit.
Well, I mean, the weak can't.
Come on. Well, you got that Puerto Rican in yourself.
Yeah, dude. I'm half Puerto Rican, so my kids are Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican?
Puerto Ricans. I got 2 Puerto Ricans.
Yeah. They look just like you too.
Wow.
So they got the bootleg Puerto Rican in them as well.
The Bermudez gene is a strong one, my friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like that LaFleur Wade gene. Whether you have a boy or a girl, it's gonna look just like you.
Yeah, this is pretty true. What about your kids? What do you think your kids will look like?
My kids?
Yeah.
Who knows? Depends.
You ever see that movie, The Hills Have Eyes?
Yeah.
What about that? You think your kids will look like that?
No.
No?
I wouldn't even want kids. I don't want kids.
Oh.
I'm not gonna ruin my life like the rest of you guys.
Oof.
Yeah. Why would I do that to you? Hey, maybe it pleases you and you're happy. To each their own. If you like kids, go for it. But I got nephews. That's good enough. I got friends with kids. That's good enough. And whether they're 5 to 18, I'll smack the shit out of a little kid. They get in my face. I got nephews that are just wild, so I don't play little kid shit.
I don't play little kid shit. I'm sorry. I'm a little inactive right now. I'm gonna get the stream going here shortly.
They don't want to see you talk. They just want to see you play video games.
Nah.
You're trying to engage with a different audience. You think they want to hear you talk about MMA? Do you talk about...
the sex that I put out here when I'm doing my thing?
You said you don't talk about MMA when you Twitch.
No, I talk about anything.
There you go. Get it right on you. There you go.
All right, so know you, right?
Know me.
Is
They
there a
don't
way you
want
can
me.
flip the camera around?
What do you mean?
Like use is that the front facing one?
They don't want me.
Yeah,
Is there a button that you could?
I don't think so.
All right, so then yeah, that's the way to go.
Oh shit! Fuck. God damn it! Technology is really.
So now while you were getting banged up in the suites, up in the Tao suite and the ESPN suite, getting white girl wasted, did you get to watch any of the fights?
Yeah, I watched the fights.
What'd you think of them?
I mean, the one that really stuck in my head, I just felt bad for my man Chris Weidman.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was tough. You know why that one really was tough to watch? Is because he was doing so good. He had that fight in the bag. Even I saw the judges' scorecards after the fight. He was ahead. 2018 on 2 scorecards, 1919 on the other one. So that's definitely a tough one. Just the way it happened. What do you think that was? Just caught with the right hand? Do you feel like he was slowing down a little bit? Body shots from Jacare?
No, I think Jacare just got a little lucky right there.
Just caught him, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not lucky. I mean, it's the sport is very unforgiving.
Very tough sport.
You know.
That's a few fights like that where that's happened for Weidman too, where I think he was beating Yoel Romero, got hit with the knee.
Yeah, and I was watching him, and like after the fight, how he felt. I know that feeling, and it sucks, man. It's when you win, everybody, your phone blows up, everyone goes wild. But when you lose, it's
loneliest sport in the world.
It's like someone died.
Oh yeah.
And you are it's your funeral.
Yeah. Oh, I totally hear that. What do you think of the rest of the fights past the Weidman fight? I mean, that one, obviously, that definitely, being that it was in Madison Square Garden, took a lot of the energy and steam out, but there were a lot of good fights. Other than that, I felt like DC put on a show.
Yeah. So, my buddy I was with, his name's Jeff Moore, he's a spine surgeon. I'm rolling with doctors these days, you know what I'm saying?
There you go, you come up in the world.
Anyways, so he wanted to beat the Rush out of the arena. So he's like, hey, after the second round, let's leave. And he's like almost like walking out the door. I'm like, dude.
I got to watch this shit.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm like, all right, how about this? So we watched the first round. DC took him down. I'm like, all right, if DC takes him down in the second period, we'll leave. And he did. And as we were walking out, it was like, oh, because he choked him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, DC, I don't even think DC threw a strike on the feet. He just went right to that takedown, right to that chain wrestling, got the takedown.
Yeah, when it's there, take it, yeah.
I mean, you got to look at it like that. He came into this fight, everyone was like, how are you going to win this fight with a hurt hand? He was just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? I'm probably the best wrestler. Definitely the best wrestler at that weight class.
Oh,
probably one of the best wrestlers in MMA.
Yeah, he is.
I don't even need to throw my right hand. What are you guys talking? He went in there with one weapon, completely neutralized, and...
I would definitely give DC top 5.
All time. Or
Wrestler
you're
in the
saying
UFC.
wrestlers. Yeah.
In the
Absolutely,
UFC.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What about even the all-time conversation at this point? I mean, granted, he beat Derek Lewis, but Derek Lewis was number 2 heavyweight. He's on a surge right now. If you look at the guys who beat Derek Lewis, he may have some questionable losses, but he's tough.
Oh, yeah.
And even right now, he's on that surge. Like, I think people are underselling it. They're saying, like, oh, DC beat Derek Lewis. He beat the number 2 heavyweight on short notice. DC wasn't in shape for this fight. Derek Lewis was. Derek Lewis came right off of his last fight.
Right. Yeah,
So,
you're right.
DC's a beast.
Yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, like, I feel like he might be one of the best of all time.
And
right up there with Jones. I feel like if he could beat Jones, he's it. Like, if it's
if he could beat Jones, he'd be the best of all time.
with no conversation.
Yeah.
Even with the 2 losses to Jones. If he beats John Jones, if he fights him again, he's the best.
I agree.
He's got an unbelievable resume.
I agree.
Like, other guys have questionable things. Like, if you look at GSP, you look at John Jones, you look at all the other guys, Anderson, all the other guys that are in the conversation for the Fedor, all the other guys, DC's got to be right in that conversation.
Yeah,
along with John Jones, too, but...
Still trying to dabble with Twitch a little bit.
What was the other fight on the card? Oh, Adesanya. Did you watch that one?
When was that one?
The first fight of the pay-per-view. Israel Adesanya smashed Derek Brunson.
So I was in the Tao suite, right? My buddy hits me up like, hey, come over to the ESPN suite. They want to say hi to you. So I'm like, okay. So while we're trying to get with my buddy, that fight goes on. I hear the crowd go nuts and I miss it. I was like, you motherfucker. Like, that's actually one of the fights I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And you stole that from me.
Oh, you didn't get to see that one?
No, I was in like the top of the arena trying to find my homie.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch that one from my seat, but I heard the fights. I heard Bruce Buffer finish, and I was like, "Fuck!" I actually ran off of they fucked up in MSG. They didn't have monitors in the breezeways. All the monitors were like selling Pepsi, selling Bud Light, and they didn't have the fights playing. Like when you're at Nassau Coliseum, you could be in the corridor and watch the fights.
Right.
You could wait on, like, that's basically what they had right there. They had hordes of people waiting online with no way to watch the fight. Trash, MSG. You dropped the ball in that one.
MSG.
Dennis, you got to take that up with somebody. But I missed the hand touch and the basic start of it, like the very beginning of it, and then I ran and watched it from the top of the stairs, and then I rewatched the fight after the fact. He's fucking good, Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
I knew he was good from the last couple fights that he's won. He beat.
So he's a kickboxer coming into the MMA world, no?
Yeah, I don't know his kickboxing record, but it's impressive. And then he beat, what's his name, Brad Tavares, who's really good.
Right, I remember that.
And now he just smoked Derek Brunson. So he's got, when they come out with the rankings tomorrow, he's got to be top 3, top 4, especially with Weidman.
Because what was he, 6?
Who?
Or 9?
What's his name was 6?
Brunson.
Brunson. I don't know what Adesanya was, but to take out 6 like that, and then there was a little shuffle in the, with Weidman losing, with even Rockhold backing out. Rockhold hasn't fought in a little bit. Like, there's got to be a little bit of shuffle in that little.
In my head, he's a small 185er, no?
He doesn't look small. He didn't look small next to Brunson. He was able to shrug off every takedown attempt. Every time Brunson touched him,
I think I just think of muscle mass.
He's lanky. I think he's built like Anderson. He looked like Anderson Silva in that fight.
Yeah.
He 100% reminded me, and I saw a lot in the comments and the forums on Tap Nap Snap, that he reminded a lot of people of Anderson Silva. So he's definitely a guy that people have to keep their eye on, possibly a middleweight contender in the future. I know after the fight he said he wanted Weidman if Weidman won, but now he doesn't know what the next path might be. But that's probably what the UFC was actually looking at if the fight fell out with Weidman and the Whitaker, what's his name winner?
Because would you say he crushes Jacare?
I don't know. Jacare looked even Weidman looked really good. Jacare looked really good. They both looked like they weren't.
Yeah, I agree.
For two guys, Jacare is like 38. I think Weidman's 34. They both looked like they were on their game that night.
Jacare's 30?
38.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I thought he was
38.
Older. Wow.
And I think Weidman's 34. They're both up there. So it's like, both of those guys looked. That was other than maybe when he knocked out Anderson Silva, that was probably the best Weidman striking's looked.
What kind of vitamins do you think Jacare is taking?
I think
he looks amazing.
I think he's
for
off
38.
I think he's actually post USADA off those vitamins, and I think now he's just making do. He recently switched camps, went to Jackson's.
Yeah, but he has a great chest.
Remember how big he was?
Hang on, he was still super duper vascular.
You can look at photos of him, like earlier UFC fights, and then look at him now. He leaned out a lot. He was a little bit more bulky.
Huh.
Who knows? I don't want to speculate and accuse people, but in a sport like this.
Yeah, I know. Like my manager thinks his grandmother's on.
Whose grandma? Your manager thinks his grandma's on something?
Yeah.
She could be. She might be on some TRT.
He's like, I think everybody's on it.
That's what I was listening to Joe Rogan the other day, and that's what he was saying. He was doing like a fitness competition with his friends, and he said they were like, "How'd you do it?" He was like, "Well, work ethic, something else, and TRT." And they were, if you're not on the same shit as him, then he's gonna fucking win any workout competition.
I've decided in my head when I turn 40 years old, I'm TRTing up.
That's what you're going with?
Yeah, I'm gonna cruise through my 30s, let my body do its thing, and then I'm gonna bring in reinforcements when I turn 40. I'm gonna be yoked.
There you go. And then what are you gonna do? What's your plan after fighting? You know what you're gonna do yet?
Are
you gonna coach?
Coach fighting?
Coach. Do you like coaching?
Oh, I love coaching. However, it's just not a lifestyle where that you can really live. I mean, there's no money in fighting, being a coach.
Mm-hmm. What about
owning
a gym? Owning a gym.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's a crazy amount of money. I think it's like a 60 to 100K maybe. But you have to be crushing like the women's classes and the kids classes. So that's where all the money's at. There's no money in actually. I want to train fighters. I don't want to train women and children.
So now, when you were there the other day, obviously just there to hang out and whatnot, do you see Shelby or Maynard or anyone and have any type of fight conversation?
No, I was in the sweet life.
And they're not up in that sweet life?
No, they're not in the sweet life. They're down on the floor.
So they know, the sweet life, you're just there to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Did it motivate you at all watching those fights? Or made you want to possibly try to get in there and book something? Mm-hmm. Any word on anything?
No, I haven't. Right now I'm just getting in, because there's nothing worse than accepting a fight when you're out of shape.
Mm-hmm. Because then it's a battle of not just...
Because then you have to go through camp, and while you're going through camp, you're trying to get in shape while doing, all the different kind of training. I like being in sick shape and then being like, oh, I'll crush someone tomorrow. Oh, hey, Dennis, we want you to fight in 6 weeks. All right, cool, because I'm ready to go right now.
Yeah.
That's how I like to roll.
Another fight that was on the card, did you see the Vannata versus Matt Frevola fight? What time did you get there? Did you get there for the prelims?
No.
I believe...
I didn't get into the building until 9.
Oh, so you got there super late.
Yeah.
So you missed a lot of good fights. The prelims
cool kids show up late.
Oh, okay. So you think you're one of those guys. I showed up. I
sat at the back of the bus growing up. I think I'm pretty cool.
Where do you think I sat growing up?
In the front, because you were in trouble.
Bro, I ran the back of the bus. Who the fuck you talking to? I was in the back of the bus. But Matt Frevola opened up the card. We're hopefully going to talk to Matt a little bit later in the show.
Call him right now.
Well, we got him lined up for about an hour from now. We got a couple. We're going to hopefully get Cynthia Cavillo on before that, and then we're going to talk to Austin Arnett. They both got fights coming up next week, but I wanted to talk about that Frevola fight because that was the fight that opened up the card. He got a draw against Vannata. Definitely one of those fights where you got to watch to score.
Yeah. When I first saw that card was announced, because I know Matt, and I was like, oof.
Vannata's tough.
I don't like this fight for him because that guy is super tough, But Matt is very tough too.
It was a quick fight. It was quick to get Vannata.
I just Vannata was he's been around longer, and I've seen him in some real wars, where Matt Frevola is coming off he was on the Contender, right?
No, Contender Series.
He was on the Contender Series. He only had one or two, so he's new, so
I mean, it was, I don't want to say rushed, but it was definitely a fight. Yeah, exactly. An eye-opening fight that you thought wow, this is a make or break fight for him. And he didn't break in it. Watching the fight, the first round, see, you'd have to look at the stats here. The first round, see, they don't have him with a knockdown, but he knocked Vannata down. He won the first round. So I don't know how they scored that first round. But then you look at the stats, it's one of those fights. He might have lost the second round, but then the third round, I thought he clearly won the third round. So it was like
So they said Vannata won the second round
they
8-10, huh?
I guess so.
I mean, if that's how it's going to be a draw.
They had to have had. I don't know what the judges were scoring. I guess they definitely had it a 10-8 round, and maybe they did have Frevola win the first 2 rounds, or 1 and 3.
Because from what you saw, this wasn't an 8-10 round.
No.
For it to be an 8-10 round,
It's gotta
one
be like
guy
you-
cannot get hit, really. That's how I...
You didn't get touched, and the other guy almost died twice.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I think an 8-10 round is, yeah.
Yeah, like if you dropped them once and then you were on top of them for 4 minutes, 8-10 round. You know,
Right.
maybe an 8-10 round, depending on even if you dropped him and then did more damage on top. I think sometimes judges get a little carried away with the knockdown, and they think boxing. So they think, oh, the 10-8 round with the knockdown, that's not always the same in MMA.
Right, because I was watching today. I was watching the Julio Arce versus who's the guy he fought? Morales.
Yeah.
And I thought Julio Arce won that first round.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he got dropped and then the guy, landed a few shots, he ended on the guy's back with multiple attempts at rear naked chokes.
Mm-hmm. There were a few fights like that. I thought they cleaned up. They did very well, Tiger Showman's. Other than not getting the win in that Arce fight, that Burgos fight was ridiculous.
I did see a clip of that where he got dropped
I forget what
super bad and then armbarred the guy. No?
Out of nowhere, yeah. And Harlabaugh is tough. Harlabaugh fought Dre, and he's a UFC veteran. He's like one of those guys who's young, but he has like fucking... I'd have to look at him. I know he's got a lot of fights, Harlabaugh. Super tough guy. Was winning the fight, dropped Burgos, then got armbarred. And then that Lyman Good, Ben Saunders fight, you see that knockout?
I did not.
Ooh, it was pretty vicious. Pretty vicious. And then the follow-up, he dropped him, and then follow-up with hammer fist. What's his name was flatlined, Ben Saunders.
Jeez.
Early, too. It was, what do they got it at? 328 in the first round. Then you saw that one girl, Eubanks. Do you know her at all?
I started seeing fights kind of happen. When I got up in the Tao Suite, it was Rinaldi versus Knight.
Well, Eubanks talked mad shit, like to Dana White, to everybody that would listen, how she deserved the title shot, all this, and then she missed weight for a non-title fight, you know? Yeah, so she talked a really big game and then missing weight. You know, Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard, they're definitely gonna... You're not getting a title shot now. You're a big win, a couple big wins away from a title shot. She's missed weight a few times. She got pulled from the one fight.
She's the girl that won the Ultimate Fighter?
Won the Ultimate Fighter, then got pulled from the championship fight against Nico Montano.
Right.
Yeah. And then Nico fought...
Because of weight?
Because of weight, yeah. So she's already had some weight issues. She might be thinking about going up to 135 or getting a nutritionist. And then Jason Knight beat Jordan Rinaldi. You fought Jordan Rinaldi, right?
I did.
He beat you, didn't he? Got lucky back then?
Yeah.
Well, You were a lot less trained than you are now.
Gosh.
Way less polished.
Yeah.
That was pre-UFC, right?
Yeah.
You remember anything about the fight?
Yeah. Well, no, I had moved to Long Island, and I was working 2 jobs to try and, stay living on Long Island. And my training camp to fight Jordan Rinaldi was sprinting around the block and be like, man, I'm in sick shape. Doing like 3 rounds of bag work and then sparring with like some overweight clients.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's fucked.
This is before you linked up with Lima.
Yeah.
So when you first got to Long Island, you were just training yourself?
I was just...
Carrying on with wrestling conditioning?
Yeah. Hey, I wasn't even wrestling. I would do bag work, sprint, and I was working like 16-hour days, and I was just dieting, the wrong way too. Like eating like a kiwi every 3 hours.
Yeah, and then what? I remember watching the fight. He's got over-aggressive, caught with an uppercut, and then he took it back, right?
He dropped me, and I fell down. He tried to finish me, I got up, and I don't remember anything. I swung, I knocked him down, right? And then I went to finish him, but I don't remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he was right here. I punched the ground a foot away from his head and totally missed him, and he just got on top of me, took my back. I started waking up and coming to. He had my neck, and I was staying against the cage as I was coming to, and I was like, oh. I was coming to, and I was going out.
Yeah, this isn't good.
Yeah. And he won.
Well, he's at 155 now, so maybe you can get that one back one day.
Oh, we got some people on the Twitch.
Oh, we got people twitching
Yeah.
you? Who's twitching you?
Let's see. We got Lola Chronic. She has no room to talk. Can't even make weight.
Who can't make weight?
He was talking. There's a slight delay on Twitch. But he's talking about
Eubanks.
yeah, Eubanks. Yeah.
She's talking mad shit. And UFC, I mean, granted it wasn't that fight. Maybe something would have transpired differently because it would have been a title fight, but the main event was supposed to be her versus Valentina for the title.
Yeah,
And
Valentina would have crushed her.
She wouldn't have even made weight.
Yeah,
Apparently,
but hang on, she wouldn't have made weight, and she still would have got crushed.
Oh yeah, and then even that fight could have. I know they trained together, so it's a little iffy, but that fight could have went to Caitlin Kuchagian. She's beaten Eubanks before, and she's maybe doesn't have the fights in the UFC yet per se, but I know she's about to fight Jessica Ai. But she easily.
Oh, Caitlin's a very good striker.
In a thin division, you don't have to do too much to
Right.
warrant a title shot. Missing weight 2 times is enough to
Right.
warrant not getting a title shot.
And that's half of the fight. It's just make weight.
Yeah, that's the fight before the fight. That's your job. And then this other fight was good. That guy Jared Cannonier, you saw that one?
Yeah, I had my money on Branch.
I think everyone had their money on Branch. Branch is no joke. Branch is a former 2-weight world champion from World Series of
I
Fighting.
slightly felt like it was a little bit of a quick call.
No? Possibly. He got hit with some clean shots.
He did. He went down, but I don't know. I just felt like
I don't remember the aftermath. I just remember the actual finish and being surprised by it. Was he, did Branch dispute it?
well, when someone is badly hurt when they get, when they call the fight, they don't like try to fight the ref. There's been much times where I've gotten dropped and they call a fight and I look at the ref like, dude, are you kidding me? Bro, let me scrap, But when they sit on the ground, they go and they put their head down. It's like, all right. Which Branch did that, and then I was like,
That you brought it up, a fight I could always wanted to ask you. What about, were you out with the Korean Zombie, or was that?
No,
that was stop.
man.
I feel like that was actually one that would segue right into that. You were definitely.
So with that fight against the Korean Zombie,
You were flashed.
I was flashed, and the thing is, because I rewatched it a couple of times, he's like a speed demon. He hit me twice, on the way down, which, as a ref, whoa, he's getting hit way too many times, But
There was no. They didn't give you even the 2 seconds.
I hit the ground, I started coming around to grab his leg. The ref already stepped in before I could grab his leg, and I had the ref's legs. Like, look, he doesn't even know what leg he's grabbing. I'm like,
no, that
dude.
wasn't the case.
I looked up,
I remember.
I'm getting punched. I'm not looking at what I'm grabbing. I'm just grabbing something. I'm going to pull it to me, and I'm going to finish the takedown.
I remember watching that fight, and when the ending happened, they kind of panned away. But I remember you immediately popping up and turning to the referee and being like, "Come on!"
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you that. So definitely, that was a premature stoppage. The referees, I think, what happens is when there's a bad stoppage, they get overzealous that they don't want it to happen again. So
well, what happens is I get it. The refs, their job is to protect us in there and make sure no one's taking unanswered shots and stuff like that. I get it. But whenever you watch Dennis the Menace fight, sometimes it's clipped where, oh, did he just die just now? And then I come back and I win the fight.
Oh, yeah.
It's happened, I can count on one hand.
Your first UFC fight, it happened.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Fighter, it happened, I think, every fight. But then even that first fight against Jimmy Rivera, I remember
Jimmy Rivera crushed me the first round. Crushed me.
But even amazing poker face. I remember watching that fight, and he hit you with a combo, and your legs go out, and you bounce face first off the canvas, and
then I shot.
And you kind of pop right back up,
Yeah.
and you look fine. And it's like, wait, did he get hit? And it's like, no, he got hit. When you watch the replay, it's like, not only did he get hit, but his legs went completely out, and he face planted, and then he popped up.
So what a lot of people don't know, and they didn't film, is I went back to the corner, and your corners are just people that you don't
even know them.
You have no clue. So my manager now and Kamara Usman were in my corner, and they're trying to tell me what to do. I'm like, guys, enough. They're like, what? What do you mean? You just got pummeled. What do you mean? I went, I got this, and they're like, okay. and then I went out and finished him.
Oh yeah, that second round was.
And then
well, you dropped him in the second round.
And I
you
took
hit
his
him with a
back
hook.
and I finished him. And with the way I handled them in the corner, like, guys, enough. I got this.
And then even
I was their first pick.
how do you feel? Like I don't know if you ever talked to Jimmy about the fight. That was almost maybe even a fight that went a little too long, where you had him flattened out. And you
I wasn't like, I was punching him a lot, but I had him flattened out where every time he tried to build back up, I would just arch my back and flatten him out, punch. But, it was one of those where, the ratio of answered punches to non-answered punches were too high where you had to call the fight, you know?
And then, obviously, he didn't turn out to be anything less than a stud.
Well, the thing is, I heard from people going into that season, the season 14 of The Ultimate Fighter, that he was actually
like
picked
the
to
favorite.
win the whole thing.
Yeah, he was the favorite.
And I get him at the draw. I'm like, oh, great.
He was like, at that point, like the King of the Cage champion and a couple of regional titles. He had like the 19-fight win streak or like 15-fight win streak at that point.
Right.
And, yeah, he was the guy.
So that fight against me doesn't count as record, though.
Yeah. I remember all of the Long Island MMA people watching that fight, and we all had, after the first round, like, does he even fucking win this fight? Like, we all looking at each other, how does he even win this fight? Like,
Well, because I went back to the corner, and I was like, dude, he's hitting you anyways, throw back. Because he was throwing punches, and I was just blocking. I'm like, just throw your stuff then. And that was the mindset going into the second round, just throw my stuff, too.
I forget the timeline, but now, did you train at Lima and then go out there, or you did that?
Yeah, I trained with Lima for like, I don't know, like 3 weeks.
And then went to Vegas.
And then I went to Vegas,
did that
yeah.
fight. Oof. It worked out, though. You wound up being Mayhem's first pick.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Then that Diego Brandao fight, everyone remembers that.
Yeah. Like, you were killing that guy.
But even that, what were you... How soon after The Ultimate Fighter, when you got on the show and filmed the show, did that Brandao fight happen?
So we filmed the show, then it was 5 weeks. Because they had to play back every episode.
You weren't on the live... No, that wasn't the live season.
To the finale.
Iaquinta was the live season, right?
Yeah, Iaquinta was the season after me. Which that would have been. And they were on there for like 13 weeks or something like that. Well, it was something crazy like that.
Oh, yeah, him.
I was only in there for 6 weeks, and it was like everybody at like 4.5 weeks was like packing their stuff, like ready to go home. Like, it was nuts.
Right. So what else is going on with you?
We got 3 viewers in the Twitch stream. If you guys have any questions, you guys want to throw anything in here, like, we'll take them. This is the live show on Twitch, and then this is going to be on iTunes.
Wow, what's the delay usually with Twitch?
I don't know, like 7 seconds, something like that. Nothing crazy. So,
Right,
I think.
Also this weekend, did you watch the CES card?
Negative.
Well, they did. The fight was before the card went live, but they showed the John Gotti fight. It lasted 28 seconds. Was it 28, 24, maybe even 18? It was definitely short. Kid threw, one leg kick. You see John kind of get a little angrier. There was another, and he landed a few leg kicks, and then John was just stalking, and then the third or fourth leg kick he threw, John caught it and just popped him with a right hand right on the chin. And then the kid just went, oh my God. Like he hit the...
Yeah.
He lost all motor function, hit the ground, and then when you saw him hit the ground and come to, you saw his face like, oh my God, as John came running in.
Yeah, that's a shitty feeling when you're in a fight and you're moving around like, this isn't too bad. And then you get hit and like your body stiffens up and like everything goes black for a second, and you're like, whoa, and like as you back up from the punch, you're like, the left side of my face is numb. There's a lot of things going through your head, like, what's my next move? I mean, because the average human being wants to go, okay, enough. That's it. I'm good. Enough. Time out. No more of that. That sucked so bad. I don't want that to happen anymore.
Well, oh yeah, that's what this kid's face said. And vicious follow-up with the ground and pound. Referee jumped in. Unfortunately, earlier in the night, one of our teammates, Hugh McKenna, lost a competitive fight, lost the decision. He got caught. His striking was looking amazing for the first, 7 minutes, and then he's got caught in an exchange in the second round, and then that turned the whole tide of the fight. You know how that is.
Yeah, I mean, like I just said, I'm sure he got mollywopped when he went, ugh, yeah. I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks. I don't want to get punched like that anymore. I don't want to feel that at all, And you can't teach that. You can't train that. You just have to have that will to want to win, or it doesn't matter,
To go through that vicious, a barrage of punches and
Yeah,
be like,
I mean-
I'm gonna survive this.
Yeah, so for me, it was easy when I first started into fighting. You know, I'd get cracked like, ooh, that did not feel good. Guess where we're going? I'm taking you down, and you're not gonna stop me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, all right, cool. And I did that 7 times in a row.
So now your first fights, were they mismatches in a sense?
My very first fight, I was fighting another Division I wrestler who did not know how to throw a punch.
So he was a good wrestler. You knew how to punch.
Well,
he
I
didn't know how to
mean,
punch.
I don't know where he wrestled. I mean, that's what they.
He didn't have any brothers.
He shot on me and I stuffed it, and he shot again and started getting like frantic, and I stuffed it, and on his way up I uppercutted him, and then I think he was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and he just shut it right down. Chronic from Twitch, he asked, when and who are you fighting next? Nothing lined up yet, Chronic.
We got our first call coming in. Sorry to interrupt, Chronic. We'll get back to that. Cynthia.
Hi there.
Hey, what's going on? Stan the Man here from Menace and the Man. You're joined by myself and Dennis Bermudez.
Hey, Cynthia.
Hey, what's up?
What's up,
How you
girl?
guys doing?
We're good. We're just calling you, or happy that you called us, and we wanted to check in with you, see what's going on with you. You got a fight coming up the 17th, right?
Yep, that's right.
How do you pronounce this girl's name you're fighting?
Poliana Botello?
Poliana
pretty sure.
Botello.
That was really
Yeah.
good.
That was really good. That sounded like pretty...
Is that Italian? She threw like a little twang on that thing.
I mean, I can say it in Spanish and say Poliana Botello.
Yeah, that sounded amazing. Either way, I'm like, yep, that's her name.
Now, what's Calvillo? Is that Italian or is that Spanish?
It's Spanish. I mean, I'm Mexican. My parents are from Mexico, but it is Spanish. People told me that before. They think that it's like Italian Calvillo, just the way it sounds. But no, I think it's Spanish.
Yeah, it might be the V that's in there.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the Villo. That, like I pronounce it, but Calvillo.
Calvillo.
It's
It's double L, you loser.
It is a double L.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why it's like a yo.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
you guys...
Calvillo, like Pancho Villa, Pancho Villa.
Ah.
Well, hang on. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know what I'm talking about. I'm a fake Puerto Rican.
A fake Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I look the part, but I can't speak. I can speak poquito.
Poquito, you can kind of
Yeah.
understand it
Yeah.
a little bit, maybe.
I'm
So if I talk to you,
hey, let's not. Hey,
oh, wait.
you know what I'm saying?
let's not get carried away here. All right, I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. All right.
So you're bilingual, Cynthia?
Yes, I am. But I have to. I'm first generation here, and so my first language was Spanish. Although I'm more shitty at it now.
All right, well, luckily for us, your English is good.
Yeah, thank God.
So now, are you still with Alpha Male?
Yes, I am.
How's training going
It's
for this
going-
one?
It's going great. I mean, it's been a long layoff, but it's been going good. I feel like we were able to just focus just a lot on it, and just just the recovery and just taking my time. Sometimes when you get a fight and you're just a fight or flight mentality, you have a short amount of time to do it. And I mean, that's all in great, but I felt like I learned a lot in this layoff.
Oh, yeah, no, unfortunate layoff. Did they give you the full 9 months with that suspension?
They did. The Nevada State Commission gave me 9 months.
Oh, what a
What a bunch of nerds.
crock of shit.
Yeah, it's because they love me. They gave everybody else 6 months, and they gave me 9 months. So,
And for some
Whatever.
reason, it's like the Nevada State Athletic Commission, they make an example out of people with weed. Like Nick Diaz, Cynthia, like they always say, like, oh no, you failed for weed, we're going to make an example out of you. Oh, you failed for steroids, can you fight in a couple months? We'll lower your suspension.
It's completely jacked up. I mean, you got other people, obviously. I am not Canelo, but Canelo popped for Computerol, and he only got 6 months. So
Yeah, there's guys. That's what I'm
whatever.
saying. There's guys popping for steroids in Nevada, and they're getting
Yeah.
less suspensions than weed.
Cynthia, you could drop F-bombs on here.
Oh yeah, you could say whatever you need to say, Cynthia. We're good.
Okay. I was just trying to be really.
Get one out of your system right now.
Fuck.
There it is.
There
There it is. Woo!
So now, with a situation like that, do you even want to fight in Nevada again?
Yeah, it is. I just want to fight. I'm hoping that eventually they get rid of it. It is what it is. At the end of the day, as an athlete, I mean, I know the rules. I follow the rules. I just don't test it positive in competition. It's not a very accurate way for testing for it. I mean, I don't think it should be on there in the first place anyways. But
Oh yeah,
I just gotta own up to it, and just gotta be more cautious. I gotta just kind of look at this. Hopefully, a blessing in disguise. There's a lot of stuff going on, even like during that fight and towards the end of it. So I think I needed this break. So I think it's good, and in another sense.
In competitions, considered 2 weeks out from the fight. No.
No, in competition is only 8 hours prior and 8 hours after. So meaning that I'm not allowed to, or no athlete's allowed to use cannabis in that window, which I certainly did not do.
Well, they changed that. They changed that not too long ago, right? It used to be a couple weeks.
The in comp?
Yeah. Or no?
No.
It's always been 8 hours.
Even when I was competing the last time, it was only in competition would be considered 8 hours before, 8 hours after. Now it also depends on what commission. Say like for example, Argentina, I'm fighting for it. They're actually in competition starts noon before the fight day, so it actually start like on weigh-in day. Versus just USADA regular and other places that abide by it is usually it's just 8 hours prior and 8 hours after. With Argentina, with the Brazilian Commission, they do noon before and an hour after your bout. So after a fight, like an hour after my fight, I can go blaze it up if I want. But according to USADA, I can't. But come on, let's be straight. There's plenty of athletes that I know that got super high after their fights and didn't get tested at all. I've never seen USADA come by after, but
I think just that they even try to mess with fighters for weed. I smoke weed. I love weed. I'm all for weed. I think that it should be legalized across the state, across the world, across everywhere. Like even that Vegas and California, I could walk down the street and smoke weed, but then I'm going to get in trouble if it's in my system when I compete. That's a little ridiculous.
Stan was actually smoking weed outside of Madison Square Garden on Saturday night.
Yeah.
That's how Stan rolls.
Well, you'll laugh at this, Cynthia. I have a list of professional fighters. I won't name names, but I have a list of professional fighters that I smoked weed with. Dennis doesn't smoke, but I can say that in front of Madison Square Garden, I smoked a blunt with Dennis and a few of our friends, and Dennis was like, "You guys were smoking weed that whole time?" He didn't even realize.
Yeah, you couldn't smell it. Did you guys not have the good stuff?
Well,
Dennis was delirious by this point, hanging out in the ESPN suite,
he was
drinking
already
free
high.
beers.
He was already stoned.
no, I was a few sheets to the wind, as they might say.
Dennis will do an edible every now and then, I'm told.
I think it should be available for athletes. I think it's actually a good thing for athletes. I think that they should actually have pre-rolled joints or cannabis ready for athletes as soon as they're done competing.
But
that's
Cynthia,
one of the best things that you can have.
Cynthia, can we hold the phone 1 second? Can we just talk about how Stan just threw my shit out there?
What
Like
did I throw
that?
out there?
Oh, hey, Dennis,
But
didn't
it's
ever
not-
know once or twice.
Why? You don't
But it's not
yeah, come on, man.
I will fight you right here,
Exactly.
Stan.
You see, Cynthia, Dennis has that attitude too. He's got that wrong mind state. Like it's got to be hidden. You don't need to hide that.
He's one of those.
I'm
He's
afraid
one
of my.
one of
Hang on,
them.
Cynthia. I'm still afraid of my father. Okay.
I am too. Trust
you wanna
me.
talk
I
about
was
that?
devastated.
Oh, even
AB hits like when he growing up. AB would fucking mollywop me, and the side of my face would go numb. Oh, he's like,
My dad.
get
I'll
into
tell you a
it.
story about my dad.
I
One
wanna
time I
hear it.
got caught smoking weed.
Oof.
And my dad, he got so mad at me. It was like I didn't smoke weed for a very long time after that. But it was when I was the very first time I smoked weed, I got caught.
How old were
And
you?
he was just like, I was 16 or 17.
Okay.
And then my dad was like, La gente que fuma marihuana es mierda. And he said, people who smoke weed are pieces of shit.
Yep.
Low life. And I'm like, oh my God. And ever since then, I was like, Dad, I'm sorry, forgive me. I always felt like a failure. And it actually wasn't until like I started fighting that I actually felt for the first time my dad was proud. And then again, this shit happened. So I was just like, it's actually, I was so for it. Like, I wanted to show my parents that it's actually a good thing and a beneficial thing. And I was on the route for that. And then I popped for it and I got suspended. And I was like, man, But I don't think they look at it the same way that they used to. They're more open to it now for sure.
I heard one of your past interviews where you said that I don't know if it was your cover, but you said that you smoke as like a pain relief, and you went through a badly broken arm, that you use cannabis and smoking weed to avoid taking painkillers. I've actually been in a very similar situation where I separated my shoulder, went to weed, and then even I had a bad leg break, and I didn't take a single painkiller. I just smoked weed.
You smoke weed, it helps you rest. It does help with the inflammation. It's proven. I broke my arm 3 times before I went like pro. I was out, and that's what helped me. And that's why I'm for it. I'm like,
How'd you break your arm?
Training, sparring. I was getting ready to make my pro debut, and then I broke my arm, and then I re-broke it again because I kept coming too soon.
Is that why you
And
missed all of 2015 with the arm issues?
yeah, I was out for like 3 years. Like if you look at the time from when I went amateur to pro, it was a big gap, and that's because I was injured. I had a broken arm.
I
But I was still training on the side like a gimp.
I broke my arm once.
It's no fun.
Yeah, I was in the third grade, and I could have swore I saw a frog jump underneath the basketball hoop. You know, like the water that holds it down. So I climbed up it, and I was hanging on the rim because it would come down, you know, and like, Jay, check underneath there. It's my younger brother, and I fell off. Nothing happened. Got back up, did it again, fell wrong, and like landed on a rock, and like I'm like, whoa, this is not looking like, hey, Jay, go tell Dad that I think I broke my wrist. So I'm in the living room. My dad comes in. He goes, yep, it's broken. You're going to stay there like that. I'm like, ah!
Oh, yeah.
And I sit there with a broken arm for like another 10 minutes before he's like, all right, get in the car.
Yeah, parents say some shit like that when you're young all the time to scare you, you know, whenever you like do your cross-eyed eyes, or you flip your eyelids, you're like, your eyes are going to stay like that, you know? That's scary.
So now, when are you leaving for Argentina?
I am leaving this Saturday.
So you'll be there, what, a week early?
Yeah, a week. Well, it's about a 15-hour total time of travel time, so I get there Sunday morning. So, yeah, travel around noon Saturday, get there Sunday in Argentina. I'm excited. I hear the weather over there right now is like the best time of the year. So,
I don't know.
And look at all the beaches.
Yeah, well, here in New York, it's rained every day for like the last 7 days, I feel.
That is no fun. I'm not a fan of the rain.
I'm gonna beat up Stan because I'm angry about it.
Well, good luck with that.
I'd be totally depressed all the time. Like, I need the sun. Like, the sun's like my best friend.
Well, I'm sure you're living. Where are you living? Sacramento?
Yeah, Sacramento.
Oh, yeah, so you got nice weather year-round. We were talking to Phil Baroni and Dominic Reyes last week. We're jealous of those guys. He's in Lodi. The other one's in, like, I don't even know where he is, but just California weather. There's never anything bad there. You never get rain. You never get cold.
Well, Sacramento's a little further north. It does get a little chilly there.
Yeah, no, it does. We do get a little bit of... We're close to, like, Lake Tahoe and the Sierra, so you do get a little bit of that cold and a little bit of ice.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse my friend Stan. He doesn't look at the map too many times, you know?
No, I thought China was really small last week.
China?
He did say that.
Yeah, I didn't realize China was as big as it was.
Yeah.
I knew it was big in population. I didn't realize it was big in geography.
Go ahead, Stan. Cover it up.
That's exactly what it was. I know it has
okay.
probably the most people. It has more people than America and the United States and everywhere else in the world, but it's got less geographical space.
He smokes pot. He smokes pot.
See, I told you, Cynthia. He's on that other team. We gotta swing Dennis.
Well,
into
you're
our
making
side.
you're making all the smoker, you know, the cannabis users look bad weird.
Yeah, I was hanging
come
out.
on.
I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
pull it together, Stan.
I don't know everything.
When you get a chance, Cynthia, look at a map and you'll see China is not that big geographically. Dennis as well. You guys are arguing. It is not that big geographically. The United States is bigger. Russia is bigger.
I think you're drunk.
Yeah, it probably is. I don't know. I gotta go look at the map.
All right, well, enough of that. You got this fight coming up. You're coming off that last one with Carla Esparza. Everything's righted in the ship now. You're going to have no issues in this fight. What happened in that last one? You just seemed like you had an off night.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I mean, I went in there feeling like the best ever. Like, I was so confident in going into this fight. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, I was just doing crazy shit in training and sparring that, like, I was like, man, I got this. You know, like, I was like, there's no way. Like, no way. I did everything to prepare to the fullest, you know, and then you go in there with the game plan, but we all know, you know, shit doesn't happen sometimes with game plan, and you got to make the adjustments and make the win. Before I knew it, the rounds were over. So my whole plan was, like, for this fight was, like, I'm gonna take it to her. She's a wrestler. I'm gonna take her down in the first round right away, and I'm gonna beat the crap out of her in the ground. If she gets out of the first round, I'm gonna knock her out in the second or third, because I know I can do that. And it didn't happen. So I should have just continued. I should have made the adjustments, and I should have just taken her down again and beat her up there. And I shouldn't have made it a close fight the way that it was. So I learned my lesson. You know, you got to make the adjustments and be prepared for everything. You know, if it's not going your way, I just had it set in my mind that I was going to get it done, And even in my head, I thought I had just barely won the fight, and then I go back at it, I'm just really disappointed in myself. But that's the part of the game. I don't think it really hurt me too much. It's not like there's like these huge holes in my game where people are like, oh my gosh, she got her ass whooped, because I don't think I did at all. So, and again, against the first former strawweight world champion, not only for Invicta but the UFC as well. So it's like she wasn't no chump.
Oh yeah, she's no chump. She's a former champion, so she's definitely a name in the game that you win or lose to her, it's not going to put you back too much, if you don't pull off the win against her.
You know what I hate when people tell me? Like, you never lose. You either win or you learn.
Or you learn.
Shut up. I lost and I learned. Get away from me before I kick you in the neck, you nerd.
All right, well, Cynthia, we want to thank you for joining us. Dennis, you've been in the game a little bit longer than Cynthia. You got any advice for her before this next fight?
She's like she said, that Carla Esparza loss doesn't affect her. She's already and what she said, the time off, and she can probably contest this, is like when you're not training for anything, it's very easy to keep just getting there and just get better.
Yeah.
She's got a great team. She's on a good path.
All right.
No, for sure. That was the big thing. And I appreciate that. I'm going to do it up. Argentina, I'll be back. And, it'll be like I never left.
All right, well, we want to thank you again, Cynthia, for joining us. Hopefully we'll be able to get you back on the show after you beat this girl.
Yeah, I'm going to miss you.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. And then by then, hopefully you guys will know a little bit of Spanish. Dennis.
What the hell? What?
Thank you again, Cynthia, for joining us. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to or any sponsors you want to thank? The floor is yours.
I just want to say a shout-out to all my homies.
All her essays.
Holding it down in the hood.
Living to be la loca. Woo.
That's right. I really appreciate it for having me on. Give a shout out to everybody and anybody that supports me or in the sport. I love it, so I'm very thankful and grateful and blessed to be able to do something like this.
Oh, we appreciate you for doing what you do and making us potheads proud. We appreciate it.
Hey, after you crush it, we're gonna run it back. Share some laughs again.
All right.
Deal?
Okay.
All the young kids are saying bet.
Bet.
Like I said, deal, they say bet.
Bet. All right.
I don't know.
Let's do it.
All right, so bet, Cynthia. We'll talk to you in a few weeks. Good luck in this upcoming fight.
All right. Sounds good. You guys have a good one.
Have a good night.
Okay, bye.
I like Cynthia. She definitely won me over there. Not that I wasn't a fan before. I'm definitely a fan of her fighting style, but she seems like she has a really good personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's vicious. She's one of those girls that puts her mouthpiece in, ties her hair up, and swings for the knockout. Like, if you look at her record, too, she's beaten, like, the who's who in the women's division.
Hey, she's not an ugly sight to look at either.
Oh, no, I didn't want to be the one to throw it out there, but
Well, hey.
you said it.
Call a spade a spade.
Hey, sometimes you got to speak the truth, and Dennis Bermudez does that very well. Even the girl that she's fighting, I don't think is too unfortunate on the eyes.
Who did someone try and contact us?
Yes.
Who'd you give the red button to?
Don't tell him I gave him the red button. Austin Arnett. I just didn't want it to keep going while Cynthia was trying to talk.
Because at the end of the day, she's a bigger star than he is.
Oh, don't do him like that. But
What?
yeah, she definitely has a bigger following. But Austin's one of those guys from the Contender Series.
Okay.
We'll get him to call in a minute. They call him the Golden Boy.
Okay.
He's a featherweight, Dennis, but you might be moving up to lightweight, right?
Yeah.
All right, so no bad blood here. You'll definitely be able to give this guy some words of wisdom. We'll see what's going on. He trains with Michael Cheisa, and he's definitely a tough guy. I've seen him fight. He was on the Contender Series. He lost his fight, and then they brought him back because his fight was so entertaining, and I believe it was a close fight on the judges' scorecard. So they brought him back. He's had 2 UFC fights since. Didn't go his way, but here he is now. Austin.
What's going on, man?
What's going on? Thank you for joining us. Stan the Man here with Dennis the Menace Bermudez.
Awesome. What up, homie?
Sorry for Xing you out there. I had Cynthia talking.
Austin, here's what happened.
Oh,
He was like, Austin or Cynthia? And he was like, she's a little bit better looking. Like, I'd like the...
I'll give that to you.
All right, thank you. You got to know where I'm coming from there.
Yeah, my feeling, man.
But what's going on with you, Austin? Danny hooked us up. I heard you fighting November 17th. They got another one for you, right?
November 17th, yep, over in Argentina going down, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, you're on that
Watching,
same card as Cynthia. Who do they got you fighting?
Humberto Bandenet. He's from Peru. He's 1-1 in the UFC right now, so should be a good one. I'm excited for it.
I think you go in there and you smack him in his face, and then you point at him and say, "That's gonna keep happening."
Dude, that's what
Like, just so you know,
man. Exactly, I'm with you.
Woo.
So now, where are you training? Are you still in Seattle?
So I'm in Spokane out here in Sick Jitsu. Me, Mike Cheisa, Sam Cecilia, all those Northwest boys have been getting down up here.
Spokane. That's what I meant to say. I knew it was somewhere in Washington.
Yeah, good old Northwest.
And now, looking at your size, you got Cecilia, you got Chiesa. You definitely got some training partners. You getting rounds in with them for this fight?
Yeah, man. So Bananet's a southpaw, and Chiesa's a southpaw too. So we've been training forever together. But yeah, he's giving me a good look, and then Sam's always a great partner, going hard. And then we got tons of up and coming guys too. Young, hungry pros trying to get their name going. So we got pretty good little squad out here.
I hear you say forever. You're a kid. You're 27. How long's forever?
27. So I had my first amateur fight when I was 15.
Yikes!
I've been doing it for a minute.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I see. All the way back in 2007. A very impressive, very impressive amateur record as well.
Yeah, man. It was, my first fight was kind of crazy. So my dad owns a school, martial arts school, teaches karate and everything, and it was just kind of spur of the moment. He's like, "Hey, this guy called me, got an MMA fight. You want to do it?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it, man." So we traveled over the west side of Washington and got my first fight. It was pretty crazy. It was fun.
Oh man! So at 27, you got a lot of experience.
Yeah. I've been doing it a while. Had probably about 20 amateur fights, and I think I've had 20 pro fights now.
How old were you when you went pro?
I was 20. Yeah, 20.
Okay.
I started fighting when I was 15, and I just fight a few times a year starting out, and then kind of started picking it up a little bit as I got a little older. Because when you're 15, I mean, there's not that many other 15-year-olds fighting. So
For sure.
I was fighting grown men, so we kind of took it slow starting out, but yeah.
And was it MMA or was it kickboxing?
It was MMA. So yeah, I did kickboxing matches too, and some boxing matches and everything, but my first actual MMA fight, yeah, I was 15.
Man,
that's crazy.
As I get older, and I'm sure you could, Austin, you could touch on this too, is like the sport is like when you watch NFL, like these kids have been playing football since they were 4. Like MMA, in a few years, there's gonna be kids have been doing MMA since they were 4.
I know, dude. It's crazy to think.
I would never let my kids do that at 4.
Dude, that's how I am too. If I were a kid, man, like training and everything, I'll have to do, but I would definitely won't be having him mixing it up, getting hit in the head or anything.
Well, now,
until he's grown up.
Talking to Cynthia, and from the past episodes, we realized I'm no geography major. I'm very bad with geography. So now, that's not the Midwest Washington, right? That's considered the West Coast?
Yeah, so we're on the east side. So Spokane's like almost on the border of Idaho. So it is on the border of Idaho. It's 15-minute drive, and basically you're in Idaho.
And
we're on
kind of Midwest, right?
No, we're northwest.
Oh, so you're all right. So that's where Spokane is, all the way up northwest. Yeah, I always talk to a lot of amateurs and stuff, and I guess it's going on out in the northwest as well. Usually the Midwest, a lot of the guys from even the middle of the country, like Iowa, and then you go to Montana and Louisiana. A lot of those guys have 15 to 20 amateur fights before they go pro. Whereas in New York, a lot of guys, they have 5 to 10, and then they go pro.
I had 4.
Yeah.
4, yeah. You had a stud college wrestling background too to go along with that.
Yeah, that helped with my the push to get pro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I didn't wrestle or anything. I did karate and kickboxing all growing up. So the grappling was kind of one of the reasons I took so many amateur fights, is just really get my wrestling game, jiu-jitsu game kind of developed before jumping into the pros.
How do you feel like it's coming along now?
Good, man. I mean, going with Mike and for all these years, he's a great grappler, and he's helped me a ton. And I'm confident in mixing up my game now. shooting takedowns and grappling with these guys, and not afraid to mix it up there. Obviously, I like to keep it standing. I'm a striker first, but I feel like my grappling's came a long way, and I can grapple with anybody, I feel like.
Yeah, whenever I start a fight out, I'm a striker until I get hit really hard. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Now I just became a sick wrestler.
Yeah, let's get on a single here.
Feel a little more comfortable
I feel
here.
Now, how's the weight cut for you to 145?
Good. I mean, I'm tall. I'm like 6 foot, so I'm a pretty good size 45er. So it's not an easy cut, but I make it every time. I'm working with Lockhart and Leith and those guys for this camp. I took the fight on 4 weeks' notice, so it was a short training camp. And we're going to Argentina, having them over there, just taking care of all my food and stuff. But, you're in a foreign country trying to cut weight. You know how it is, Dennis.
Yeah.
Finding the food and all that crap, it can be a hassle. So this just kind of takes the stress relief off for me.
Yeah, a
I
little
can
bit.
just focus on the fight and
Yeah.
let them do the nutrition.
Lockhart's going to be there?
I'm not
Or his
I think
team? He's got
his
like
guys
a...
are going to be there. I'm
okay.
not positive Lockhart's going to be there, but yeah, his team's
Okay.
going to be there.
Yeah, which
so.
is nice. Because I know when I fought in New Mexico, all the food was it was delicious, but I couldn't really eat it. It was so salty. I was
Exactly.
with Verdum up in the mountains, and like I just ate egg whites for like
Yeah.
4 days
That's-
straight, all 4 meals, because I couldn't they're having like freaking Brazilian barbecue outside. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, dude, I know. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's how it would be if I went over there without them. I'd go to the store and picks up some eggs, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe some chicken breasts, and how that sucks. That shit gets old quick.
But fighting on 4 weeks' notice is pretty cool, right? Because I mean, when you have a fight lined up for like 8 weeks or 10 weeks, like the pressure and everything kind of builds a little bit
For
as you get
sure.
closer to the fight. But 4 weeks, you're like, fuck it. That's
Dude,
kind of the mindset.
yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, no.
Before you know
That's
it's there
I
and
think-
it's go time.
Yeah, see, my last fight, it was like I had the opponent and the date for like 12 weeks out. And I think what happened, I like overanalyzed the fight. I was just thinking too much in the fight, and I was watching too much tape, and I was, just thinking too much instead of reacting and going off natural instincts. And in this 4 week camp, I think that does change the mindset a lot. I don't know as much about the guy, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm worried about myself, focus on my training, and I think that is going to play a lot better for me. And I'm always in shape. I train year round. I'm a martial artist, man. I love training, so I'm always, in a good baseline shape.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you train for a fight, you ramp it up, but I'm always in a good baseline shape, so it doesn't take me too long to get into camp and get in shape. A couple of weeks, I'm feeling good and ready like I can fight.
And it just comes and you're ready. Because, like you were saying, man, like with a long camp, you start running different scenarios and you start overanalyzing it. Where at the end of the day, go out there, punch that guy across from you right in the face as hard as you can,
exactly.
as many times as you can, and don't get hit. That's it.
Yeah.
Like when you,
Yeah,
I talk to so many guys, like, oh man, what should I do? I'm like, fight? Like, it's not, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not rocket science. Just go out there and hurt that
getting
guy.
fist fights.
Yeah.
We're getting in fist fights, and if you overanalyze it
Right.
too much and try to be too perfect, like that's when you get run into trouble, man.
Yeah.
You
Well,
gotta
that
keep
that
it
was one of the
simple and-
things I like that Henry Hoof said. He always says, "Kiss, keep it simple, stupid."
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
just keep
I
it
know,
simple.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so true, man. It's so true. Everyone tries to get a little too fancy, try to use fancy combos and all these crazy subs and stuff. And it's like stick to the basics and go out there and get in a fight. And,
Yeah, everyone wants to land the flying knee, but they don't think that their jab will land every time.
Well, the UFC does a nice job with, dangling 50 grand in front of your face. Like, hey,
Oh yeah, the
That's
bonus
true.
structure.
hey, you want this? You got to do something
Yeah.
a little crazy. And everyone's
throw
like,
that wheel
yep.
kick. All right. Yeah, throw the wheel kick.
I've thrown it once in training, but tonight's the night.
Yeah.
So now, what do you think about this fight, Austin? Coming off these last couple fights that didn't go your way, you took this one
Yeah.
on short notice. Is this make or break for you, or you think they're going to give you another one, win, lose, or draw?
No, I mean, you know how the UFC is, dude. You got to win. And I know where I stand right now. I know this is a must win.
You do
Yeah.
have to win, but you also have to be exciting. You have to go after
Yeah.
the win. They love that. They'll keep bringing you back if you're putting it out there.
That is true. That
yeah,
is true.
Austin, I'm
And-
0-4 in my last 4, so...
And
Yeah,
they're
that's-
calling Dennis. They're waiting to book Dennis another fight.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he always puts it on the line, man. You're one of my favorite fighters to watch, actually.
Thanks, man.
You always go for it, pressure fighter. I love it.
Thanks, dude.
And that's exactly what I got to do in this fight. I got to be a pressure fighter. I got to get after him and hunt for a finish. and not worry about everything else. Just go out there, fight the way that I love to fight, and usually that's exciting. So if I do that, I'll be fine, and I'm not gonna worry about the other bullshit as it comes. But I'm gonna focus on being exciting and going after a win.
So let's take this interview in a different direction, right? So we just had
Sure.
Cynthia on. She got in trouble for a little pot. My buddy across from me smokes a lot of pot. I know Michael Cheisa has like a farm over there. No?
Yeah. For the I like it for the recovery.
Oh,
aspect.
Austin's on our team as well.
Yes, the CBD, all that stuff. It does help. It helps with sleep. I'm pro for it. For sure.
I'm huge on CBD, man. But no, because
Yeah.
I was in Vegas, like the last time I was in Vegas, and Mike was getting ready for his fight against Pettis, and he's like, "Dude, as soon as it gets legalized, I'm gonna crush it. Like I'm already like he was talking about like almost like it was about to go to war. Like he's got like ammo and guns for days, and." He was like, dude, I got different strands. I'm ready to go when this thing hits. Like, I'm going to be doing all right. Whoa. And he was very passionate about it. Very passionate about it.
No doubt.
I didn't realize Michael Cheisa got down like that, but that's funny because when I lived in Florida, I used to have the big beard and the long hair, and people used to be like, Cheisa, get on the mat. And they would fuck with me and call me Cheisa.
No, he's like a scientist.
And
with it.
I used to get Guida a lot too. Like, Guida, get on the mat.
Guida,
like, all right.
yeah.
Just the long hair and the beard. But Austin, we appreciate you for joining us. You got this upcoming fight. Hopefully we'll get you on after you knock this guy out. You just got to keep range, work your head kicks, man. You seem like when I watch you fight, you're definitely a beast on the feet.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on this one. It's gonna be a good one. So definitely tune in, and I'm gonna put on a show for sure.
And you're definitely, I wanted to finish, you're definitely evolving on the ground, so just keep at it and just put it all out there. And win, lose, or draw,
Thanks,
they'll definitely bring you back. You're definitely an entertaining fighter. That's why they brought you back after that Contender Series fight.
Yeah, thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Looking forward to seeing it, man.
Yeah, thanks, Dennis.
All right, so Austin, again, thank you for joining us. We'll get you back on in a few weeks. Anybody you want to thank? Shout out,
no,
sponsors,
man.
anything?
No, man, yeah, I'm all good. But yeah, just my team, I guess, Sick Jitsu, and then my team back on Team Execution, and everybody that's helped me get ready. Yeah, appreciate it.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Austin, for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
All right, later, boys.
Take it easy. Austin, the Golden Boy Arnett. He sounded like an awesome dude as well.
I would like to drink a beer with him.
Yeah, he sounded like a real mensch right there. And on top of that, looks like me, him, and Cynthia could share a joint, a blunt.
Yeah, not me.
Couple weeks out before the fight. We'll get Dennis clam baked.
What?
We'll just blow it in your face. Oh, I have like funny stories like that. Yeah, like one time we were playing poker with my brother, and actually some of our next callers' cousins, Matt Frevola's cousins. I know his cousins. I used to play poker with them for years. And I was smoking. My brother-in-law used to let us smoke in his house. So I was smoking. I saw him go do like a little shakeout. So I was like, oh, he might get clam baked. So I just started smoking and going, and just blowing it right in his face. So then all of a sudden he's sitting there taking forever to make a move. You play poker? He's taking forever to make a move. He's looking at his cards, looking at the pot, looking at his cards. He goes, whoa, I'm fucking high. You guys got to stop smoking. I just realized I'm fucking high. Like and then he started like hyperventilating. Like once he realized he was high, he started having like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm so high. I was like, bro, drink water and you're fucking fine.
Dude, you are a bully.
I won that night. So
it was a strategy.
it was strategy. I'm pretty sure I won
You're a con
that night.
artist.
It was funny when we all started playing poker. I used to win in the beginning because everyone else didn't know how to play as good as me. And then once everyone caught up, like I used to play wild card. Like I used to wait for a good hand. All right, I'm all in. All right, I'm all in. And then once everyone realized that's how you kind of play no limit poker, you just wait for a good hand and just put your money in with the best hand, and hopefully don't get sucked out on.
Well, I guess we spoke about this last time, right?
You're not a gambler.
You owe me but you're gonna take me out and you're gonna make me money. I'm gonna follow you. Like
Yeah, but then
but
you're that guy. If you lose your money, it's on me. Then you're gonna try to fight me and
I'm
shit.
definitely leg kicking you. Yes.
Bro, I got a bad fucking leg.
I don't care.
That's
If you lose
fucked
me
up.
$100, I'm leg kicking you
That's fucked up.
hard.
Well, no, you're gonna lose $100. I'm gonna show you what
Dude,
to do. I'm not
what
gonna take
the
the chips and do it for
No,
you.
hang on. You're gonna be playing right next to me, and whatever you do, I'm gonna copy it.
Yeah, exactly. How is that my fault?
If
You
we-
copied me. I didn't take your money and lose it.
Listen, Stan. I'm just gonna follow you around and copy you, okay? And if I lose money, I'm leg kicking you. Period. There's no. That's it.
Well, I'm like 230 pounds, bro. Good
Yeah,
luck
and
with
you're
that.
a bully that blows smoke into people's faces.
No,
How do you sleep at night?
that's
Stan?
not a bully. It was my brother Mike, before he had kids, before he was, the man he is today.
Nobody knows your brother Mike.
They'll know him eventually. He might come on as a sponsor for this show.
Oh, he's got dough?
God, he's a very successful business owner.
What's he do?
Oh, he's a land surveyor.
I don't know what you just said.
Exactly. You're a homeowner. He's a land surveyor. When you first,
Oh, land surveyor.
yeah, land
Oh.
surveyor.
Okay. Land surveyor.
Yep.
What?
He's out there making moves. We got a few people that are interested in our show. I just got to iron out some details, and we'll hopefully have some sponsors and some people on the Menace and the Man team.
You know we need to get on here, your mom.
Come on, man. Give it up to my mom. My mom, actually, I said that to my mom. My mom wants us to call in. So once we set up the call, my mom will call in for us.
Yeah, I like that.
My mom, almost when I told her that I had tickets to the UFC, she was like, I'll go. And she was ready to cancel all her plans, anything she was doing. But that's just because she thought 50 Cent will be there. That's the first thing she asked me when I came home. She was like, was there any celebrities? I was like, yeah, fight celebrities, not really
Kim Kardashian eats those chips.
Yeah, that's how she is, man. She's into celebrities, so she's big into what's that? People Weekly, E-Weekly, all those type of things.
My lady is always on Snapchat looking at celebrity. I'm like, why? What are you doing? If you die, Kim Kardashian does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's why if Kim Kardashian dies, I don't give a fuck.
That's how my mom is
That's
too. My mom's
that's
big
how I
into
roll. If I care about you and you die, I'm gonna be upset.
What do you think about the other thing I texted the other night? Do you think that we get Cyborg on here, or do you think we keep talking about a potential matchup and then we
Me
build
versus
up?
Cyborg.
Me or you versus Cyborg? The way we were saying, would you let Gian kick me? I'll let Cyborg fucking head kick me. I'll let Cyborg kick me.
Well, she could also kick you, and you'd have you.
She
You
probably
know.
kicks. She might kick just as hard as Gian.
No chance.
I'm joking, but
Oh. I fought that one so hard. No way. No.
now this kid must be high.
What's Ferola doing?
I don't know. I text him.
He's dough dicking around.
Hit him up. Call when you're ready. So he'll probably be calling in any second. But man, tough one at UFC 230. His fight. When you go watch guys, all those guys, even if I don't know you personally and I've met you once or twice, or I do know you personally, I root for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're from even the East Coast, I'm rooting for the Jersey guys.
Yeah.
The tri-state area guys. Because it's pretty much, if you look at it in a battle standpoint or a team standpoint, it's us against the world. When it is. When, for instance, even these guys right now going from California or the West Coast to Argentina,
Right.
When you go to Mexico City, it's not like you're there I'm Mexican now. No, you're an American, it's you against the world.
Yeah. Well, Mexicans don't like Puerto Ricans.
Oh, you're the enemy there?
Well, from boxing. The boxing
Oh,
days.
yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge, the rivalry.
Dude, he's calling me.
Oh, hang up on him. Tell him to call me.
I just told him to call.
Oh, there you go, then.
Matt, what do you... Oh, I can't even fucking... Here, plug this in.
Dennis is all complicated.
Hello?
Yo, what's up?
Matt, what's going on?
Dude?
Yo, how we doing? This is Stan and Bermudez?
What? This is the Menace and the...
What's
Menace
going
and the
on?
Man.
Usually, we have it where they usually call my line, I patch them in, and I say, what's going on? It's Stan the Man, you're joined with Dennis the Menace Bermudez.
He goes,
What's up,
he
guys?
goes, what's this, Stan and Bermudez?
I was like, who am I calling right now?
Well, we appreciate you for calling in, Matt. You just had a big fight this weekend, so I'm sure you're just resting up now.
Oh, yeah, I'm kind of...
Making sense of it all.
Yeah, I'm eating right now, just healing and eating. Got a couple days, that's usually what I do after the fight. I eat some food and I just relax.
Now, after
yeah, doing good.
Yeah, after a fight, is there a dessert involved after every meal for you?
Oh, 100%. And anything peanut butter chocolate, I'll eat pretty much with every meal. Nice dessert, peanut butter chocolate, something.
You have a nice salad, now bring me the cheesecake.
How you
All right,
feeling
all right.
after that fight? I saw a picture on, I believe, Instagram. Your face was a little banged up, but you didn't look too worse for the wear.
Yeah, I'm feeling real good actually. You know, my hands are good, my ankles good, my knees are good. My face is a little beat up, but it's already like healing. I had a few stitches in my eye, and besides that, I'm good to go.
Well, yeah, that's the real question. Is always if your hands and feet are good, then everything else will heal pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, after a draw, I'd have to think you're probably itching to get back in there. You didn't get the result you wanted, right?
Yeah, I thought I did enough to win, but honestly, everyone, in the end of the day, like I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to go in there and kind of show how dynamic I am, and kind of show that I belong there. And I think after that performance, I accomplished that. But in the bank account, I don't get that win bonus, which kind of sucks. And I was hoping to get that fight night bonus too, but.
Oh yeah,
I told
you had that fight
Weidman,
bonus till Weidman's fight.
yeah, I told Weidman that we'll play Madden for the 50 G's, so for the fight night bonus. So
Man, it's actually pretty hard to win a fight and night bonus being on like the
The first
very
fight?
yeah. It's like you everybody else has
Yeah.
to suck really.
Did Weidman take you
Yeah.
up on that Madden challenge?
yeah, he laughed. He said we'll play some Madden, so maybe we'll have a nice 50G Madden game coming up.
No
Get it.
chance. No chance. He's got kids.
I know. I was just messing around, but
I wouldn't play if I was you. I'd be like, no.
yeah, we really got to play.
I'm bringing my system over, pussy. Have the money in the suitcase, okay? I'm not fucking around here.
That'd be great. That'd be a pretty good, pretty intense game of Madden right there.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Now,
just
have you
hit it.
gotten a chance to rewatch the fight yet?
Yeah, definitely. I rewatched it like probably two or three times, and yeah, it was good. I definitely think I won rounds 1 and 3, and I guess that round two could have been a 10-8.
It wasn't.
I watched it like if I would have got one of those takedowns, I think that would have like sealed it for me. But that's it. It was a lot of footage that I can go back and review and get better from. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, it was definitely good.
Now, I haven't seen the scorecards, but is that what it was? Did they give him that second round 10-8? All the judges?
Yeah.
Or the two
Well,
judges?
One of the judges said that I won. Well, actually, all the judges said that I won rounds 1 and 3, but 2 of the judges said that the second round was a 10-8 round, so that's why it was a majority draw. One judge said I won.
Yeah,
but
I was
2 of
just
the
telling
judges-
Dennis earlier. I watched the fight. I didn't think the second round was a 10-8 round, but I guess it turns into one of those type of arguments of what is a 10-8 round.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's like a new judging system in New York that might be in place.
Well, New York is known for inexperienced judges. I think that was the case. They're quicker to give out a 10-8 round than because you landed by the stats. You landed 14 strikes on him. How do you land 14 strikes and you get completely dominated around? I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I do not know.
Ready for this? I've been fighting now for 9 years. I've been in the UFC for 7. I still don't know what they're looking at to judge a fight.
Yeah, you've been on the bad end of some judges' decisions recently too. All those split decisions. I thought you won like most of those.
Thanks,
they were so
dude.
close, like could go back and forth. But you never know with these judges. So
I mean, do they flip a coin? Like some of those judges for a second, like that second round, like I don't. It was
They
close
might.
to a 10-8. Let's just flip it. Tails.
Well, that's
It's
what
8.
it is every
Like,
fight you get a different judge, and the judges are all so inconsistent that it's like you don't even know what the fuck they're watching, what they're scoring for, because all the scorecards always wind up being so inconsistent.
yeah, it's definitely I guess like their opinions almost so some judges might think. Just give wrestling more points. Some might give the striking more points. Somebody given like his octagon control more. I think every judge kind of can judge it their own way. And
I think that
too inconsistent.
second round they kind of gave you like a boxing round. He knocked you down once, so they gave him the 10-8. But if you look at you know, the judging history, like it's just they're giving out 10-8s for the wrong type of rounds. Like a 10-8 round is where you don't land a strike, you land one strike, you get dropped, and then you get dominated for the whole round. That's a 10-8 round.
Yeah, it's
that definitely didn't happen in that second round.
No, I think they gave it out a little easy in this fight. Like dishing out those 10-8 rounds like nothing in this fight.
But you definitely knocked something off your bucket list, man. And that's fighting at MSG, right?
Oh yeah, I still after that fight, I still had a great time with my family and friends. Everyone, loved the fight, and it was a great night, and I mean besides what happened to Weidman too, but for my fight, everyone was happy with. And, Weidman went out there and killed the two, just got caught in the third round,
That was an amazing fight. Both of those fights were ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your first round, your and Lando's first round was insane. That you got dropped with that head kick, and you came back to win that round.
Yeah, that was a great round.
You got like that round was insane. You wound up I look at the stats. They don't have you knocking him down, but you knocked him down in that first round, too.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, they don't have that in the stats, so they have him knocking you down twice.
I know I clipped him, and he like kind of get maybe they're being stingy with the knockdowns.
Well, I think whoever was keeping stats was probably scrolling through Instagram.
Yeah, because it was pretty much the same knockdown. Like your butt didn't touch, your hand touched the mat, and then you popped right back up. He had the same exact thing in the first round. So, but they definitely all judges gave you the first round because you definitely stole it at the end, especially with the big takedown. And Vannata's no joke, man. You looked like a killer out there. You look at some of the guys he's fought and looked good against.
Agreed.
Thanks, bro.
That dude's been around the block for sure.
Yeah, he has been. I think he didn't really respect me coming in, but afterwards he definitely respects me now. I thought I was closest to finishing that fight at the end of the first round when I had when I had his neck and he rolled and I mounted him. When I rewatched it, I was like, if I could have finished that guillotine from mount, that's I think my best chance of finishing that fight right there.
Oh yeah, even at the end of the first round, you hit him with I believe a left hook, and you had him doing the jelly leg, and then that's when you clinched up with him and wound up getting on top of him. But he was definitely closer to being out a few times. The only time that you were close was maybe a little bit in that second, but I thought you recovered well. And then that head kick, I don't know how you ate that. Some chin.
Yeah, I recovered from that kick pretty good, but my fucking mouthpiece came out again, and that happened in the first fight too. And I was like, "Fuck."
What kind of mouthpiece do you have?
Well, I got a new one after the first fight. It was one of those ones that was like they had to like mold my teeth.
Is it a Guard Lab mouthpiece?
No, I don't.
Dude, you gotta get a Guard Lab mouthpiece. Those are my guys.
Yeah, maybe I need to get one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe Dennis will help you out with that.
Yeah, I fucking got your back, dude. But this fight talk bores me. Let's talk about something else. Frevola parties, dude.
Oh, I'm sure.
No. Hang on. I think I had a fight lined up, but this dude was like, Frevola, like, what's the name of your party?
The Frev Fest. The
Frev Fest.
The Frevola Beach Bangers.
Yeah, this dude gets a fucking party tent. Let's talk. What kind of alcohol is there?
We usually always get like a couple kegs, at least like 4 or 5 kegs, and we've been having this party for 10 years now.
Jeez.
And just every summer we throw down and have the Frevola Beach Banger. It's a good time.
Now
all the
I know
Gam Labs guys are always there.
Yeah. So like, I'm not gonna like ask for somebody else, but like, can I come?
Of course, bro.
So Stan, I'm allowed to come.
I'm coming, Matt. I'm crashing. I'm crashing. I know Frevolas. I know a bunch of Frevolas.
Dude, Frevola.
Yeah, you gotta be there.
Dude, Matt, if he comes if he just shows up, I would head kick him.
Well, even Matt, I would show up dropping names, and I'd get in before you probably. You'd show up and be like, oh, I'm a fighter, I know Matt.
No, I'd be like, I spoke to Matt, and I asked him if I could come like a gentleman.
I'll be like, I know Matt, and I also know a few of your cousins. They're old poker buddies of mine. I know Kenny and Johnny.
Yeah, he probably blew smoke in marijuana smoke in their face and fucking got their minds thinking differently. And,
oh no, I don't know what Johnny does, but I know Kenny's a cop. Kenny's a cop, so I'm not blowing smoke in his face. But I got some credit. I can come to Fred Fest.
Hang on,
dude. You have
he was promoting this thing on Twitter hard. Like, do you sell tickets for this thing? How's this work?
No, it's just you just come right through.
How much-
You guys are
Thank you.
VIP when you get there.
Woo!
Ooh, we got the pass now.
Yes, score.
See,
Hang on.
Matt's a nice guy. Dennis trying to be a dick, invite himself. He doesn't invite his co-host.
Whoa! Hang on, dude. I didn't want to step on anyone's feet. I want to be like, hey, Matt. Well, I didn't want to put him in an awkward
You gotta
spot.
bring the whole Long Island MMA crew. Bring
All right,
Wade.
all right.
Bring Flair. Bring the whole crew.
Yeah.
You know what it is, Frevola? They all got kids. You don't got kids, right?
Yeah. He's living
No,
the
no
yeah.
kids.
You're still living the
Okay.
dream.
Yeah.
You're still living the dream, my man. I'm in that same boat. These guys all got kids, so they always got to plan it around the kids.
Yeah. Like good
All right. Well,
like
hey,
good fathers would.
You bring the kids during the day. They can hang out at the beach. It's like family friendly during the day. Then you just got to get them like a babysitter for the nighttime.
I separate my kids from my like if I'm gonna be there and people are throwing down cerveza, like hey,
You got to separate the kids from the party life.
yeah, like I'm not.
All right.
I'm not just having a couple and hanging out. Like especially if you're on top of a pole inside of a tent doing pull-ups.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why? It gets
happens.
Dude,
crazy.
he shirts off. His shirt's off. He's doing pull-ups on top of the framing of the tent.
Yeah, you always end up.
Girls are
climbing
pawing
top-
at his
top
crotch.
of the
I'm like,
tent.
dude, I want to be this kid.
Where are you from on Long Island, Matt?
Huntington.
Born and raised?
Yeah, born and raised. Huntington, Green Lawn area, Centerport.
I know for that while you were in Florida. How'd you wind up down there?
I went to University of Tampa. I actually did 2 years at a junior college in Massachusetts, and that's actually where I found jiu-jitsu. But then I transferred down to University of Tampa, and I lived down there for like 7 years. So and I started fighting down there, and I kept training whenever I would come home for like Christmases and summers and stuff. I would train with Longo and train with Sarah, and I went over by Lima like a couple times too. I got to get back over there
Yeah, man.
and
Mix it
do
up.
those pro classes with you guys.
Oh yeah, we were just
Always,
talking.
always welcome.
We were just talking
Yeah,
about that.
I will soon enough.
Well, I got your number, man. I'll get over. Hang on, Stan. You know how I know Matt?
Yes, of course. I knew you knew Matt.
No, how?
How do you know Matt? How do you know Matt? Because you
my mom
punched each other in the face before. Or no?
Negative. My mom and his dad are buds. Like,
Really?
From Huntington,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Did they go to high school together?
Yeah, they went to high school together.
And they're both on Facebook.
Oh, so small
Yeah,
world.
oh,
Yeah. Hang on. My mom loves Facebook.
Yeah, that's
She
how-
actually
that's how all
instead
this,
of
So wait, your
They
mom and
link
his
up,
dad
you
know
know.
each other
Yes.
randomly from 20
Yes.
years ago. Now both of their kids grew up to be UFC fighters. That's pretty crazy.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's how I got linked up with him. You know, he wasn't in the UFC yet. My mom was like, "Hey, my friend's son is doing MMA. He's doing really good. He wants to come up a tree." I'm like, "Of course." And that,
Yeah,
you know, rest is history.
The rest is
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
And now Frevola's in there putting on a show against Lando Vannata, opening up UFC 230.
Yeah.
Big things.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, we're making moves.
Inviting us to FrevFest and everything. Me and Dennis gonna
Well,
make
you
moves
invited
soon.
yourself.
I invited myself.
Yeah.
I know Frevola's. I can get in there.
I asked
You guys are right through. Always welcome.
Man, now I want to know. I want a little. Give me a little something extra. What's the craziest thing that happened at the Frevola like beach party bash? Give me something.
Well,
like
I'll tell you a good one from
girls,
this last
like
year.
white
this
t-shirt
year-
contest. Like what do you got? Give me
this
something.
year. Raging Al showed up this year.
Oh, trouble.
He goes
And
hard.
Mhm.
He took the rowboat. He took the rowboat out at my house. I live right like in like Huntington Bay area, and he just took the rowboat out. Then my buddy comes.
What
up to me and
time?
says, Yo, I think it must have been like 6 o'clock, but
In the
we were,
morning?
doing some six
Okay.
in the afternoon.
Okay.
But we were like day drinking,
Okay.
and
So he's
but,
gone.
yeah, he's just got like a case of beer. I grabbed binoculars, and like he looks like a dot from the beach. So, and he just got a fucking case of beer in his rowboat rowing out, and we ended up going out on the jet ski to get him, and
Just by
he was
himself.
yeah, he was by himself.
How long was he
Just
out there
drunk.
for?
I don't know. He must have been rowing out there for like 30 minutes, but like I could barely see him. He's like a dot.
Just
So then
pounding
I go-
beers.
Was he going somewhere?
Yeah, I guess he was like trying to get to Connecticut. Casino Original going on a little paddle, but it was fun. We had like a line tied to it, and I was pulling him with the jet ski to bring him back. It was fun. It was a good time. Good time.
He's actually one of my favorite people to drink with. He's very he's top 5.
A lot of mutual friends. We've never drank together. We've hung out
Hey,
in the same vicinity together. Me and him never partied together. One day.
That's
the
why
thing-
I always try to fight like beginning of June, so then I can party for Feb Fest, and I like to fight beginning of November because then I could go in for Thanksgiving and enjoy the holidays. Those are my 2 favorite times to fight.
He's got it mapped out.
Matt, so what do you think next? What's your usually your date for the first quarter? You got something you want to try to get maybe January at that Barclays card? Or is that too soon?
Yeah, that might be too soon. I'm thinking January, February, March, like late February or March would be perfect. But if next time they come, if they make a date for Nassau Coliseum, I got to be ready for that.
Oh yeah, you're another one of those guys. I was talking to Dennis as they're about to make the ESPN deal. If they're smart, they get you on ESPN, put you on a TV fight. Because every fight I've seen of you, it's definitely fist flying.
Yeah, that's what I like. Every time I fight, I want to bring it and keep showing everyone what I know I'm capable of doing. So that's why I like this fight a lot. I kind of got to throw my kicks, land some punches, throw some knees, some elbows, kind of show my Muay Thai. I fucking love Muay Thai, and I just love the art of 8 limbs, just using like your fucking elbows and knees and stuff. So I got to do that. But rewatching the fight, I wish I would have wrestled them a little bit more too, but that's it. I get to go back to work and get better for the next fight. So I'm pumped.
That's what's up.
Oh yeah, you definitely did an amazing job in that fight. Like when I watched that fight, like when I watched it live, it was one thing, but when I rewatched it, that fight was fight of the night, right behind or maybe right in front of Weidman Jacare. Like Weidman Jacare might have took fight of the night because of the name recognition, but Weidman, it was a little more. Weidman Jacare was a little bit more one-sided. Like Chris was winning that fight. This fight was like you two were swinging, slugging, the spinning back kick attempts. I didn't realize you had spinning back kicks in your arsenal. Have you thrown any of those yet in your other fights?
Yeah, I have.
He's a back fist thrower.
Well, spinning back kicks he was flinging.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he threw spinning back kicks.
Yeah. My fourth fight, I landed a good spinning back kick, and then I choked him out with a guillotine when he was hurt from it. That's why when I caught this guy's neck, I thought I was gonna catch that choke, but
Oh yeah, I made a note in my on my pad in my notes from watching the fight earlier. Those body kicks too. You landed some really hard kicks. Definitely a very hard Thai style you're throwing out there.
Yeah, that's one thing. Actually, he came out and showed me a southpaw stance. I didn't expect that. Thought he was going to be more orthodox, but he showed me a southpaw stance. And whenever I fight a southpaw, I like that. My right power kick. I just throw it to the inside leg, throw it to the body, throw it to the head. I love that power kick.
Send it.
Southpaw.
Oh yeah, he was definitely a tricky guy, switching stances and whatnot. But you did a great job. So we're glad we got you on here for a little post-fight analysis with Menace and the Man. We'll hopefully get you on again in the future, Matt, when you book your next fight. Anything you got?
Yeah.
What kind of advice can you give a guy like Matt, Dennis? I'm sure you've given him some in the past.
I mean, he's with a great team. So since he's come to Lima and then gone over to Sarah, like his jiu-jitsu's like gotten light years better. And then like when he throws like his hands, it's like a lot of guys throw like 1 or 2 punches. When Matt starts throwing punches, he throws in like 6-punch combos, running you down, and you're like, like how do I get out of the way of this, And then he'll throw a head kick at the end to sign off,
Oh yeah.
No, he's got the great attitude. He showed he belongs in the UFC, and I look forward to all of his work to come and get some training in as well.
Yeah, thanks, bro. It's definitely I'll definitely get over to Lima for those pro classes, and we should go out to Vegas, yo. I want to go to Vegas and do like a couple days at the PI.
Yeah, let me know, man. You have my number.
Yeah, I'll let you know. We got to set something up, get like a crew out there.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking awesome.
All right, so again, thank you for joining us, Matt, the Steamrolla Frevola. Here, before we let you get out of here, Dennis likes to ask people, when's the last time you got into a street fight?
Yeah,
Oh,
actually,
man.
you know what? Shut up, Stan. Frevola, tell me your best street fight story.
Oh man, my best street
Yeah.
fight story.
Give me the, he pushed down your girlfriend. You're like, that's not here, buddy. Not my girl. And you fucking...
I got my nose broken one time. The real nose coming out of my the bloody nose that with blood pouring out of my nose. The only time it's ever happened to me was when I got my nose broken at the bar once.
So what provoked that, though? What happened? He didn't just punch you in the face, right?
I was pretty drunk, and I was talking to someone's sister, and then I guess the guy's brother came over, blindsided me, broke my nose. I went down and my nose started bleeding. I was like, this guy nobody makes me bleed my own blood, kind of
Yes.
drunk and angry.
And then did you crush him, or you're like, fine?
The bouncers kind of got on me, and then I got into a fight in the doorway, and I ended up fighting the door. And
I feel like you're skipping out on a lot of details right now. You're you definitely grabbed this dude's sister by her upper skirt or something like that.
No, I was
No.
I was definitely very respectful. Whatever.
Come here, baby. She's like, I don't want to talk to you. Come on, have a drink. I don't want to drink. Come on. All right, buddy. That's my little sister. Okay.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. Something.
So
Sounds like an overprotective brother to me. Sounds like somebody who's being an overprotective brother.
Or maybe, maybe,
broke the shit out of my
or
nose.
maybe
I
he
still
saw
can't
the.
breathe
Instead of letting a
nose.
nice fella like Matt take his sister
Hear
home.
me out. Hear me out. Maybe he saw the twinkle in his little baby sister's eye and was like, "No chance
today.
am I having a ginger for a nephew one day. Not you, Matt. You're not impregnating my little sister."
I actually have a ginger nephew.
I
He's a badass.
could have thought. That could have went through his mind.
Yeah, but he's not your favorite.
No, he might. I'm not gonna call him my favorite nephew, but I love him. He's a little badass.
Well, you can love him, but he's not your favorite niece or nephew.
Can you believe this guy, Matt, going against gingers that hard?
I'm sure. I'm crazy.
I definitely took a little too far. I was kidding.
Definitely went a little too far.
It was
there
a
with
joke.
that.
It's
All right, Matt. Again, we appreciate you for joining us. Thank you for coming on, Menace and the Man. We'll get you back on in a few weeks, maybe a month or two, when you book your next fight and you're all healed up.
Yeah, man. Hit me up whenever you guys want.
I miss you, Matt.
All right,
I'll see you soon,
that's what we
bro.
like to hear, because me and Dennis like to prank people sometimes when guests no-show on us. So you might be on that list now.
All right, might have to happen.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good.
Yeah, I miss you.
Make sure we get the email, the invite to FrevFest.
Say it back to me.
Of course, you will. All
Say
right,
it-
have a good one.
Say it back to me. I miss you.
All right, later.
What the fuck, Matt?
He didn't miss you, bro. What do you expect?
I'm gonna freaking egg his house.
Well, you realize that. You've done that to a few guys.
Yeah.
You're playing gay chicken in a sense. You know?
What?
You want them to be emotional chicken, gay chicken, whatever the fuck it is.
Dude, what are you...
You're saying you said I miss you to Phil Baroni,
So?
Jared Gore. I think you tried to say I miss you to Tito.
No.
All right, so you said it to
I say it to people that I've actually met, and I actually miss them, Stan. What are you, a homophobe?
No, I'm not a homophobe at all.
I don't know. You're being weird.
I'm just saying you got a little insulted when he didn't say I miss you back.
Well, that's rude. If you tell someone you miss them, they don't say they miss you back, well then, hey, I'm going to egg your house.
You made him a little uncomfortable with it, maybe. Phil might have heard that voicemail and been like, I don't even know if I want to talk to these two guys. Two grown men telling him that they miss him.
Did you tell them that you missed them?
You did. No, I saw. I believe I did as well.
You followed suit, huh?
I followed suit. You brought me down your rabbit hole, down your little shitty ladder.
Dude, what the fuck?
All right, well, Matt Frevola, we appreciate him for joining us. Good interview there. What's going on, Dennis? Next week we got to try to get some of your friends.
All I know is you're starting to piss me off.
How am I pissing you off?
You know how you get.
Oh, no, I know how you get. You're getting hangry at this point.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
the thing.
so-
That's the thing that me and Stan do. We have a little dinner date after each podcast.
Dennis told me Dennis was in a bad mood because of video games today. So he let me know before the podcast even began. We are not getting food after this.
Right.
And then he tried to be like, oh, I already ate, so we're not gonna go.
Maybe we'll get something light.
We'll see.
A little appetizer.
Well, there's another fight card this weekend. We'll cover that on the next show. And the only other news I did want to talk about was Ben Askren versus Robbie Lawler is rumored for January. Who you got in that? Do you know a lot about Ben Askren?
I know a lot about Ben Askren. He wrestled around the same time as I did in college. I think we spoke
yeah.
we spoke about this. I think on episode 1. So if you're listening to this and you're like, what did they speak about? Go back to episode 1 and give it a listen. We just need those extra listens.
Do you think Ben Askren can take the shots that Robbie Lawler might hit him with? Robbie Lawler's got really good takedown defense, so he's going to be difficult to take down.
Yeah.
He's not an Olympic level wrestler, but he's like a high school level wrestler who's done MMA training takedown defense specifically for the last 15 years.
So this fight kind of reminds me of the Khabib Conor fight a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think if Askren gets Robbie Lawler down to the ground, Robbie's going to have a really, 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 really tough time dealing with Ben on top.
Yeah.
But Ben has to cover distance, grab Robbie, and throw him down and get him to the ground first before that to happen, which people go, ooh, I like this. I don't know how this is going to play out. And this is one of those fights that get people, I don't know.
You know what?
And when people don't know, they tune in and they pay money and
One
they
thing
get excited.
about Askren that I hate that I'm seeing, and especially coming from New York, I actually know a little bit about this, is people say, oh, well, Ben Askren's not that good. He almost lost to Jay Haran. Jay Haran's fucking good. Jay Haran's really good.
Yeah.
Like, even if you look at his UFC career, he underachieved in his UFC fights. Like, he was putting on shitty performances and losing to maybe GSP's obviously really good, but then a couple of the guys that he lost to in the UFC, I think
Jake Ellenberger.
Those are, he could have beat those guys on a given night, and then he lost to Woodley. Woodley's the champion.
Right. He definitely had a tough draw.
Very tough draw. But even Haran is no joke. So for him to show up that night and put a good fucking...
Was Haran the Bellator?
No, he lost he won the tournament, I believe. But then he lost his title fight opportunity to Askren.
No, but wasn't he, what fighting organization was he in before he came to the UFC?
Who? Askren.
No.
Haran.
Yeah, Haran. Because I remember him being a big deal, and that's why when he came over to the UFC, he was fighting like the top guys
GSP.
right away.
No, I think it was he took GSP on short notice.
I don't know, dude.
But even that, he was always very highly touted. He was a very good wrestler. Like, people say, oh, no, Ben Askren's not that good because Jay Haran almost beat him. It's like Jay Haran got fucked up by GSP because he had a shitty night. He got caught with a punch,
Right.
Got fucked up by Woodley because that's fucking Woodley. He got caught with a punch,
Yeah.
If he doesn't get caught with that punch and skills come into play, like, he's as skilled as a lot of those guys, I'm sure.
Oh, my God, yeah.
In jiu-jitsu and in striking. Like,
Jay Haran is now a stuntman, like a big-time stuntman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Crushing in Vegas.
He's one of those guys that, like, I think just before his time a little bit. And, yeah, like, if you look at him, he had those early UFC fights where he lost to Jonathan Goulet, GSP, Jonathan Goulet. The Jonathan Goulet fight was a cut stoppage. Then he was in the IFL. That's where he was highly touted. Then he was in Strikeforce, then Bellator. Then he lost to Askren. And then right after Askren, they gave him those last two fights in the UFC where he fought Ellenberger and Woodley. And then the Woodley fight was his last one. But, even his record, 23-7, a guy who was 23-7 with 30 pro fights, and he fought Askren a couple fights ago. He fought Askren when he was 22-5. That's not an easy fight.
Yeah.
If you're 22-5 as a professional fighter, you're fucking good.
Yeah, I agree.
And people think, oh, no, it's, nothing special. Ben Askren. Ben Askren's fucking really good. If he gets his hands on you, he's going to do some damage if he gets his hands on some guys.
Yeah, I agree. So I mean, that's where that fight goes, man. Is if Ben Askren can get Robbie Lawler to the ground.
Well, even that, like, people would say, oh, what are you talking about damage? Go watch Ben Askren's recent fights. He's like Khabib. Khabib was
Yeah.
winning decisions early on, dominating people. Askren has now gotten to that point where I think his grappling's so dominant that he postures up and beats the shit out
Yeah.
of people. You know, you look at his last couple fights, and that's what it was. And then there's even another fight out there with the guy Luis Santos. You ever see that one? Where Askren poked him in the eye and his one no contest.
Negative.
He was getting fucked up a little bit, but the guy kept leg kicking him and stuff, but he wasn't knocking him out. That fight, like the momentum was going this way. It was going up for the other guy, and it started going downhill. Like it was a matter of time till Askren got his hands on him. You know? And
Yeah.
then an eye poke happened, the fight got stopped. But people always talk about those two fights and say Askren's not that good.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Yeah. I think he comes in and I love Robbie Lawler, but I think that's a tough night for Robbie Lawler. It's gonna be
It's a tough fight for both of them.
yeah, but I mean Robbie Lawler probably gonna wind up against the cage, if not on his back in that one. He's got to definitely use his footwork, keep some angles, and land those shots. I don't know if that'll be the main event, co-main event.
Oh my god, it's gotta be main event.
Well, it's going to be that. It's rumored for the Barclays card, so it might be.
Co-main.
Oh no, it's rumored for actually a numbered event in California.
Okay.
So 231, whatever. But we'll be back probably next week. We don't know who will be on. We don't know what we'll be doing, but we'll be back next week with Menace and the Man, episode 4.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking to people.
Yeah, we'll see what we get next week. Dennis, anything you want to say to the fans?
Well, see you later.